Hey guys, welcome back. So this is our next question from SQL 50 Leetcode. Question number 1174, immediate food delivery due. So here's the question. We have this table called delivery and we have these four columns. So we have the delivery ID, customer ID, order date, and the customer preference delivery date. And these are the data types. So delivery date is the column of unique value of this table. The table holds information about food delivery to customers that make orders at some date and specify a preferred delivery date on the same order date or after. If the customer's preferred delivery date is the same as the order date, then this is called an immediate delivery. Otherwise, it is called scheduled. So if the delivery date is the same day as the order date, so it'll be an immediate delivery. Otherwise, it's scheduled. The first order of a customer is the order when the earliest order of the customer was made. It is guaranteed that a customer has precisely one first order. So that'll be the first order. So let's say if the customer has multiple orders, the first order will be the earliest one, so the minimum one. Write a solution to find the percentage of immediate orders in the first orders of all customers rounded to 2 decimal places. So we have to find all the customers where the first order was an immediate order, and we want to represent that as the percentage of order. The result format is the following. So this is an example and this is an output. So let's see here. So we have, how many orders do we have here? We have 7 orders, but we only have to check like the first order. So for example, customer ID 1 had an order on 8/1 and then again on 8/11. So this is the first order, so we only consider that. We don't care about 8/11 then. Similarly for customer ID 2, the first one would be 8/2 and then the second one would be 8/11, so we'll only consider 8/2. And similarly for 3, it'll be 8/21, not 8/24. And for 4, since we only have one order, so that's the first order. So in this example, let's see how many first orders are there. So customer ID 1 has 2 orders, so this is the first order, so we have 1 here. So similarly, 2 ordered twice, so we have 1 order for 2, 1 first order for 2. For 3, we have 1 first order, and for 4, we only have 1 order, so that'll be the first order. So in total, we have 4. So now let's check how many, for those 4, how many of them were immediate orders, meaning the preferred delivery date was the same as the order date. So let's see, for number 1, customer ID number 1, the order date was 8/1 and the delivery date was 2, so it's not the same, so it's a scheduled delivery, so we don't consider it, so it's not an immediate order. For 2, let's see how many do we have here. We have 8/11 and 8/2, so we only consider 8/2, and the delivery date is also 8/2, so it's an immediate order. So now we got 1 out of 2. So let's see 3, where is the first order? It's not 8/24, it's 8/21. And the delivery date is 8/22, so it's a schedule, so it's not, so we got 1 out of 3 now. And for 4, it's 8/9 and 8/9, so now we have to where the first order was an immediate order, so the percentage would be 2 out of 4, which is 50%. So that's what we have to do. Hope you understand the question now. Okay, so I'm going to come back to our SQL Server Management Studio where I've already created the table and I have all these records in here. So I'm going to start writing our query here. So I'm going to select everything from this table so we can see it side by side. And now I'm going to start writing our query. Okay, first, what I'm trying to do is I want to only see the first order. So how can we get it? So what I can do for that is I can inner join with a table where I only have the first order. So I'm just going to select from my delivery table. And just ignore this for now. I'm gonna give it an alias later. So what I'm trying to do here is I want to get the customer ID and I want to get the minimum order. So minimum order is gonna give us the first order for each one of the customers. So let's say if they were for customer ID 1, we have 8/1 and 8/11. So I only get 8/1 because that's what we need here. We only are concerned about the first order, so I'm gonna get the minimum order. And then 4, since there's only 1, the minimum will also be 8/9, so it'll do the trick here. And I'm gonna call it minimum order date. And then since we are using aggregates here, I'm gonna group it by customer ID. Okay, so let me just select this section of it. I'm just going to copy it, paste it here so you can see it side by side. I'm just going to run everything from this table and just the minimum order so you can see what I'm trying to do. So you see the customer ID, I'm getting 81 for the first order. So is it the first order? Yes, 81, 811. So 81 is the first order. For customer ID 2, it's 82. For customer ID 3 is 821. So the first order is 821, and for since we only have one, the minimum would be 89. So this is what we need. Okay, so hope you understand it now. I'm gonna get back to our query here. Okay, so here we have a subquery, so I'm gonna give it a name. I'm just gonna call it, let's say I can say D2. You can give it any name. Now what do we want to join it? So I want to only see the first order, so I'm gonna do on delivery. Actually, what we can do here is I can just give this an alias too. It'll be just easier for us. So I can just call it D1, and then I can join it on D1 dot customer ID equals D2 dot customer ID. So we are joining it on customer IDs, and then I want to also join on D1 dot order date equals D2 dot, we have the minimum order date. So now if I run it, it's only gonna give me all of that information, but only for the first order. So see here, for each one of them I'm getting one row, so I have the first orders here. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is what is an immediate order? If the first order has the same delivery date as the order date. So here 81 is not equal to 82, it's not an immediate order. This one has the same date, order date is the same as delivery date, so this is an immediate order, and then this is an immediate order. So out of these four we have these two. So what we can check, I want to get a count of all the orders where the order date is the same as the delivery date. So I can do count, and then here I am just going to do conditional summing, and we have learned this before. It's very helpful. So case when, if you want to learn more about it, you can watch my other tutorials on it. So we're going to do case when order date is the same as, what is it, customer preferred delivery date. Then I'm gonna count a 1, else I'm gonna count nothing. I'm gonna count a null. I'm gonna end it. So this is gonna give me the count of immediate orders. Let's execute it now. So see, I'm getting 2 here. Perfect. And then I'm gonna divide it by the total count. So this is gonna give me, okay, this is giving me a 0 because I have to multiply it with 1.00 to force it to be a decimal. And then what I can do is I want a percentage, so I can just multiply it by 100.00, so I get a percentage. Okay, now I'm getting 50%. Perfect. So I am gonna give it the alias, what is it called? Immediate percentage. That's the column name. And finally we have to round this to 2 decimal places. So I'm gonna round this whole thing as 2 decimal places. Perfect. So this is our solution here. I'm just gonna copy this, and I'm gonna come back to our Leetcode here. I'm gonna paste the solution here, and then I'm just gonna run it now. Ran successfully. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and thank you for watching.